So we're back here for part 3 of the live stream, and we actually switched locations just like a block up. We're right here on Butterfield Road, which is right here in the city of Downers Grove, which is a suburb of Chicago, about 30 minutes west. And there's Benny's right there, Home Depot's right there, 355 is right here, and then you have Butterfield Road right there. So in business, you got to get creative, how to get more visibility, and at the end, you know, it's like switching locations. Yes, it's people might not buy food from us today, but at one point, right, they might change their mind and be like, hey, you know what, let's stop by. We've seen those guys forever. They've been there for a couple times already. We've seen their signs. Let's give them a shot. And that's what's happened is people pass by and they stop by and they're like, hey, you know what, we got tired of seeing your signs. Finally, we got to try to, you know, try your food, try your breakfast burritos. So that's been pretty awesome. So that's why we kind of switched locations just to here. But to cover in the food truck business, we've covered 2 things already. Number 1 is if you want to do a mobile vendor option and doing a food truck or something of that nature, right, where you're mobile, what kind of food you're going to sell is number 1. And then number 2, we covered yesterday, do we do brick and mortar or do we do a pop-up, a vendor? And if you're doing the vendor side, let me show you what we had to do, what I had to do. Part of it is because you need a, this is right here. Let me show you guys. So you need the DuPage County Health Department license, which is right there. And then you need to do this Certified Food Protection Manager program that they have. So obviously that's me right there. You need to do it. One person that's working in your restaurant or your food truck has to have this posted. So that's part of it. And the other part is in this wonderful state of Illinois. If you see everything here, this is part of what you're going to have requirements when you go into the food truck business. If you want to sell food, if you want to have anything that you make here in the mobile side, this is what's required to have in your kitchen. If you rent out a kitchen, let's say you have like a food prep business where you make food somewhere off-site and then you deliver it to your customers. There's a lot of companies that do that, where they cook off-site and then they deliver it. That's a whole different animal because that's a different inspection that you just rent out their space and they have to deal with their certifications. They have to deal with all that stuff and you just cook there. But if you want to have everything in-house and you want to do everything, this is what's required. So I know in the state of Illinois, everything has to be on these legs, right? And nothing can be touching the floor. As you see here, we have everything on legs, 6-inch legs, and that way you can meet that code department that they have. You have to have fire extinguishers. That's another part of it as well. You have to have your plumbing. You have to have a hand sink. You have to have a 3-compartment sink. Part of it is wash, rinse, sanitize. And that's part of the requirements of having a mobile kitchen, is you have to have that. Here we have, let me show you guys, the refrigerator over here on this side as well. We have the electrical box right there. We have all our cooking stuff. We have our warmers. You have to be NSF rated. You have to have this one we bought, and you stick some breakfast burritos in here. When we're doing like big catering events, we have to make like 200 or 300 burritos. We put those in there and make sure that they all stay warm. And then we have all our stuff down here, which is our bowls, our pans, trash cans, and all that stuff right there. Let me show you guys the outside, because this is the main baby of the food truck, which is a generator, and you have your propane tanks in the front. One thing that I did not add to this food truck, because I bought it and it was empty, it was just like a plain Jane trailer, is I didn't add, here we go, look at this, I didn't add an air conditioner, so I have to use these fans, or I have to cut something in this window right here. So a lot of things have to come into play when you're buying, you know, one of these. I bought a trailer. You can buy a truck, like an old UPS truck, or you can also buy a trailer like we have here. The reason I bought the trailer with the truck attached to it, we have a Chevy Avalanche that pushes, is because when we do catering, sometimes we have 4 people that go with us, me included. And so when you have like an old UPS truck or an old FedEx truck, the Mack truck tools as well, you can only fit 2 people in there because they only have a little jumper seat on the side. So with that, you have to have another car next to you. Why also did we pick the trailer, the cost. I bought this one just because it was 4,000 bucks for the trailer, and then I built everything inside it. So I think all in all we're in like 20 some thousand bucks with the equipment and the certifications, the licenses, and all that stuff that comes with it. So that for me is the reason. And if that truck breaks down, which happened to us one time, it broke down, we fixed it the next day. So that's why I didn't go rent another truck, or else I would have gone to rent like a pickup truck at Enterprise if they were open, or Hertz or anything like that if anything was open, or borrow somebody's truck. Then I could still pull the trailer. If you have one of those old FedEx trucks or the old UPS trucks or the Mack, the tool trucks that they have, or like a bus, even like an old bus, it breaks down. Typically they're diesel. They're a lot more expensive to fix, and to find the parts, it's a lot more time consuming than just a regular pickup. But I am looking for that electric pickup. I think it's coming out in December, so we're going to be adding that to the arsenal here. That's why I didn't wrap this truck completely, because I want my electric pickup to be with the Tesla that we have. So that's the goal. That's kind of like the gist of it. If you want to do the mobile side, make sure that you have your 3-compartment sink. That's one of the big things that they had. You have to have your tanks down here. You can put them in here, you can put them at the bottom. In Illinois, I know some states you can have cabinets here and it can go all the way to the floor, but when it comes to DuPage County or Illinois, you have to have everything on legs. That was one of the biggest things that I ran into that was a little bit different that I didn't know about. Everything has to be NSF rated, National whatever Standard Federation, whatever it stands for. Make sure that your tables, like these, they're all stainless steel. What else can I give you guys on tips if you guys want to start something? Well, you got to get your health department license, your food protection manager certification. That's part of the deal here. So with that, that's kind of what we have here. And then your fire suppression system if you're going to be cooking with this. If you have fryers, you know, people do funnel cakes, people do what else do you do in a fryer? French fries. Shoot, I don't even know what else. I don't have a fryer, so I don't know what it is. But I know that's a whole different animal. You have to have like a lid on top of it so the grease doesn't float all over the place. So with that, this is where we will be for the rest of today. On Butterfield Road right here next to 355. And tomorrow we'll be in Glen Ellen on Lambert Road. The exact number I don't know. It's somewhere in my notes, but it's in Glen Ellen, Illinois. We'll be there tomorrow for a pop-up. They say it's going to rain, so bring your umbrellas because we do need some rain right now. But I don't want it to be during a rain. It can come like at 1 o'clock. From 9 to 12, we'll be there tomorrow in Glen Ellen. So with that, Frank Baltieres, hopefully these tips on how to build up your food truck, or if you want to do just like desserts too, that's a phenomenal way to do it. Or one of the ideas that I had was protein shakes. I wanted to do protein shakes, but we ended up with the food truck here. So for now, that's what we're rolling with. That's what we're going to make happen. Frank Baltieres, Rolling Burritos. We're out here.